Hi, everybody. Welcome to My Heroes number 11, Lucky 11. In the 1960s, during an art history lecture, I was exposed to surrealism. It was an early influence on me. My surrealist heroes were Salvador Dali, who was very popular at the time, Max Ernst, Joan Miro, and especially Man Ray and Hans Bellmer. These artists quite literally embraced mannequins. In 1966, while I was in grad school in Switzerland, Man Ray published a book of prints documenting mannequins created by various artists for the International Surrealism exhibition in Paris in 1938. I was hooked for a second time. Today, my heroes explore Hans Bellmer, Man Ray, and Lee Friedlander, who I've spoken about before, and their involvement with mannequins. Hans Bellmer's most famous image is of the Puppe, the doll, which was constructed of wood, plaster, and paper mache. The doll had ball joints that allowed it to be shaped into endless, disturbing configurations. Bellmer then photographed the results. Bellmer, a German, left Berlin in 1938 and lived in Paris, where he was part of the Surrealist Circle. He was interned as a German citizen in a prison camp from 1940 through 1941. After World War II, he continued living and working in Paris. Man Ray was a big influence on me. He was born in Philadelphia, but spent most of his art career in Paris. He was a contributor to the Dada and Surrealist movements, the only American. Ray gave up his painting in the mid-1920s, stating, "I have finally freed myself from the sticky medium of paint and am working directly with light itself." That's when he decided photography was more important than painting. In my first darkroom classes in the late 1950s, I made photograms, a direct influence from Man Ray. Ray called his photograms rayographs. Ray also produced solarization images, made films, worked as a fashion photographer, a portrait photographer, all in addition to his sculpture and painting. This brings us back to the book Resurrection des Mannequins from 1966. Let's take a quick look at some of the famous artists who appeared in the Surrealist exhibition from 1938 and the photographs that Ray made of these mannequins for the book. They are himself, his first mannequin that he used from scraps that were lying around his studio that he put together in part images, the one that he made for the exhibition, and now the other surrealists. That would be Ing's famous picture of the violin and Salvador Dali's mannequin, then Andre Masson's mannequin of the bird cage, and then Sonia Mus, I think I've pronounced that right, picture of mannequins. There were many more. You can see the entire collection from this book. I think Getty has it. So if you go online to Getty and put in Resurrection of Mannequins, you'll come up with the book. There have been many photographers who have photographed mannequins, including Lee Friedlander. So Lee Friedlander, who published a book about mannequins, mostly of New York shop windows, and they almost always had reflections in them. My involvement with mannequins were mostly towards the surrealistic side of mannequins, although I do have some photographs of mannequins from store windows. I would like to show you a few of those. So my first mannequin was taken in the Paris Metro in 1975, and that's a very surrealistic image. I think that's when I first started taking photographs of mannequins. Then my second image, also a window, and it's of a store dresser. That was also taken in the 70s. And then we have a later image, and that was taken in Istanbul in 2016. And it's called Love at First Sight. It's of a mother walking her child, and the child has recognized a a little girl mannequin, and he's very curious about it. Then we have a torso that was taken also in 2016 on a street in downtown Los Angeles, just of a torso of a mannequin. Then, I guess just a couple of years ago, maybe 2021, there was sort of a iridescent mannequin. It's made out of plastic, but the sun looks like it's lighting it. Somebody hung it on a trash can on Venice Beach, and I started to take a picture of it. And the guy who was sitting next to it was curious about what I was doing. So he's looking at the mannequin and not at me. Then I have a photograph from, I think, 2019 of just a mannequin outside a shop window in Brazil, and it's wearing a mask. Very strange. So, and it's in color. So I do take pictures of mannequins in color too. Then we have mannequins, but they're only, and I think this one's probably in Vietnam and or somewhere around Asia. And it's of fingernails, but it's of 5 hands, and it's called high five because there's 5 hands. So it isn't the full mannequin, so it's just the hands. And then I think we have a picture from 2010 inside a wig store. And you can get any color, obviously, you can get any kind of wig you want, but the mannequins all look the same. So for me, that's a very real image. And the last picture that I have for today is a picture that I took at the end of last year, the beginning of this year. And it's a sort of a cityscape. And it was taken in Meknes, Morocco. And it just looks like discarded torsos on the street. So a very strange image, beautiful clouds, wonderful stone sidewalk, and these mannequins all lined up. So that's what we have for today. If you'd like to see more of my mannequins, you can. I have a small book that I self-published on mannequins, and you have to go to smallphotobooks.com and you'll find it there. I am working on my archives now, and I probably have hundreds of mannequins now. So I will continue to take pictures of them because I think that they're very interesting. As you can tell, I've been interested in them for 50 years. Nice to talk to you today. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Ciao.